The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special program called Spotlight on Sports that will be going out to a number of towns in the Capital District, and sponsored and brought to you by the Colonie Town Library, the town of Colonie. And today we're going to talk about something that started in 1982. It was magic in the city of Albany. It's called the Albany Patroons. Patroons had one heck of a run, and throughout the years the Patroons produced some wonderful people for the NBA, wonderful players in the NBA, and coaches, such people as Scotty Brooks and Rick Carlisle and Derek Rowland, the coaches that coached the Patroons, such as George Karl, Dean Meminger, Bill Musselman, and of course Phil Jackson, who won his first championship ring with the Albany Patroons. Well, fast forward to 2018, and the Patroons are back. After a hiatus of some 10 years, the Patroons are back again at the old historic Washington Avenue Armory in Albany, where 2,500 people will look like a crowd, and it is a crowd. Not lost, but a family watching some great basketball. Today I have two people from the Albany Patroons. They are players, they are stars of the Patroons, and I want to introduce them to you right now. First of all is DeAndre Thomas.
How y'all doing?
DeAndre, welcome.
Hey.
And second is somebody that the people in the town of Colonie will certainly know, because he was the third all-time leading scorer at Siena College, and his name is Edwin Ubiles. Ed?
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about your history, but before that, I want to ask you, how did you get to the Patroons, DeAndre?
I played for Coach Rowland a while back in like 2010, something like that, for the Albany Legends. And a guy named Rod Strickland, Eric Strickland, got me to Coach Rowland because I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia playing for the Halifax Rainman in the PBL. So he reached out to Coach, and Coach brought me in for the Albany Legends, and then Coach brought me back this year for the Albany Patroons.
So a lot of people don't know that Canada does have a basketball league, right?
Yes, it's a national basketball league in Canada. There's 8 teams in it.
So do you have to travel the whole length of Canada to play teams?
It's not on the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Haven't reached to the West Coast yet. It's in like Ontario to Newfoundland.
Okay, but Albany plays Vancouver, which is on the West Coast, way out there.
Yes.
But they came here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But Vancouver moved. The Vancouver team moved to Columbus, Ohio, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
So
that.
they moved a little closer.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. And Edwin, how did you get here?
I kind of heard about the Patroons through some friends in the area. You know, I got a lot of good friends in this area. You know, as you guys know, I've been around for a long time. So I heard through some friends. One of them was also the assistant coach, Devonair Dees. And, you know, he kind of called me, and I've been playing with Devonair throughout the summer and just, you know, some recreation, summer leagues. And, you know, when they mentioned that they was coming back, he was kind of one of the first persons that hit me up and told me if I was going to be home that I should play. You know, that it was going to be good basketball, that he thought I would do well here. So, you know, I told him if I was around that I would give it a shot. And as it got closer, you know, I gave Derek a call, you know, because I'm also, you know, I also was familiar with Derek, you know, once I found out that he was going to be the coach again. So I gave him a call and just to, you know, give him a heads up that I might be around. And
where were you playing before you came back here?
I was in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I played in Puerto Rico this past summer for about a month to finish the season up over there. And then I was home though. After that.
Were you down there during the tornadoes?
No, that was I had left like a little bit before that. So.
All right. And you were in China before that? Were you in China at one time?
No, I wasn't in China.
Where else have you played?
I played in Israel, Japan, France. I did a
Puerto
tour in
Rico.
China, but in Puerto Rico though.
Cool. Very good. And you are from Chicago, right?
Yes.
Okay. And is that where you played basketball in high school?
I played basketball there in high school, but I ended up going to college and went to junior college in Marianna, Florida, Chipola Junior College. Then I played at Indiana University for a year. Then I transferred and went to Robert Morris University, Chicago.
All right. And then is this your first, other than Canada, is this?
No, I played in Chile. I played in Asia. I had a little tryout in China. I did some tours in China. But other than that, I played for the Abbey. I played in the IBL, played in the ABA for the Chicago Steam. So I've been around.
So it's almost like when you guys are coming out, it's almost like being in the Navy. You get to see the world, and you get paid for it at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, when you're around, and this is kind of like up close and personal with these two guys. We're going to get into the basketball in a couple of minutes, but I'm interested in the life of a pro ball player. That do you get a lot of time to see the areas that you're playing in?
Yeah, you do. Practice really ain't that long when you go over them to the countries. Probably have 2 days, but you really get pretty much time to go travel, see the other stuff that we don't get to see if we was just touring, right? If we was just visiting. So we get to see landscape, all type of stuff like that. Yeah.
So do the foreign fans treat the American players differently than they do here in the United States? Are you like a star when you're over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, some places I would say. Overseas, I think it's a tough environment. You got to be mentally tough to sustain over there. I think also it's a cutthroat league. They bring us over there to produce, and if you're not producing, they easily replace you. So it's a mental thing over there. When you're playing well, everybody's on your side, and when you're not, everybody's he's not that good, or
they try to get you out of there.
They try to get you out of there. So it's different from over there. I think the fans and how they treat you is a little bit different. I think over here in America is a little bit more fair. They do it more equal. They're gonna play their best players regardless of what happens. And they understand the game more over here. They know how to execute it. They know who does what, and they just know the game better than over there. Not all places. There is some teams overseas who's phenomenal, and they win championship after championship every year. But most of the time, those are the top teams in any league you go play in.
So you're back in school, right?
Yes.
All right. So tell me what happened. You left Siena to go into the NBA.
Yes.
Okay.
To prepare.
To prepare for the NBA.
Yes.
Okay. And then you decided because I think it's a great story, for kids, because at some point you decided I want to get my education.
Yes.
That's important. Don't you think that's important for younger people to know that even though you had a successful career and you're continuing to have a successful career, that basketball doesn't last forever.
Yes.
You could be a coach or whatever else, but you're not going to be a player forever. And what's your degree going to be in?
I'll be a creative arts major.
Okay.
But yeah, just like you said, I think getting my degree, was for me, but for more so to show the future, my kids as well, that's something more important than playing basketball, football, baseball, because at some point it's going to stop, or you can get injured and it may just end right then and there early. So it's just something I wanted to do and get out the way, while I had the time, and I'm just lucky to still be playing basketball while I'm doing it.
And you're able to do your classwork and play at the same time?
Yes. It's a little bit easy to balance, when you're in the area,
right,
and stuff like that. So, it's still a little tough because we do travel quite a bit. Yeah. So, you got to try to find the time to put in the work. But I'm home, so I feel like I should be able to get it done.
And where are you from originally?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
And then I went to high school in Poughkeepsie.
Okay. Oh, good.
And then I went to prep school in Connecticut for 2 years before I went to Siena.
This is a tough schedule that you guys have. I know you just went out to Yakima, Washington, but before that you were in Nevada. You stayed in Las Vegas and then drove to the site that you were at, and then did you drive to Yakima?
Yeah, we had to fly. We got up early morning, flew to Yakima, and then we had to drive 4 hours from Seattle to, was it 2?
2 hours.
2.5 hours from Seattle to Yakima.
Jesus.
It was a nice sightseeing though.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was. But it was and then you have to play the next day.
Yep.
So that's not an easy grind at all. DeAndre, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay, and Ed?
I'm also 31.
Okay. So you're in the NBA. In professional basketball, you're considered to be on the top of your prime. I mean, it's what age do they consider an older person in the NBA?
It all depends on when you came in too. Because if you went to college and did 4 years, your prime would be basically when you hit like 26, 27, I'll say. 28, hopefully, if you real good, if you still around. But if you come out of high school, like LeBron James them did, if you're in the league for a certain more than 5 years, 6 years, you should be hitting your prime around that time. So,
who's the old man on the team?
Moon.
Jamario
Moon.
Jamario Smush. There's a pecking order now. EJ. We're an older team, but first we started off real young, but we're real old now. Me and Ed starting to go down to the young guys where all the old guys come up, so we going down, so it's okay.
Yeah, because I see the play and I see that Smush or Jamario are like happy to throw it to somebody and just kind of take the time getting down to the other court.
Ease out the way, huh?
Yeah, it's gotta be tough, But what's the reason for playing that long? Is it the love of the game?
Yeah, it's the love of the game. It's the love of the game.
And did you have that from the time you picked up a basketball, or was it something that
if you playing this long and the money ain't all that good, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. The money ain't all that good when you playing minor leagues or it's professional.
Yeah.
But if you don't love the game, you're not gonna stick around being away from your family. So you gotta really love the game. Cause I got a family, and I ain't seen my family since November. Right. I was on another team before I came here, and being away from your family that long, and you ain't really making as much, but you got good teammates around you, and you want to do something together and get a championship, so you can that's history, and that's a good feeling when you have that. So it's pretty good for the love of the game. I think it's for the love of the game.
Edwin, same thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely for the love of the game. Anytime you play, past 35, 36, I definitely think it's for the love of the game. You see guys in the NBA now, doing it. Guys play to their 40, 39, 38. They don't produce as much as you anymore. They got all the money in the world. There's really no other reason, to play. But if you're gonna do it, it's because you love to play the game, and once you stop, you're gonna miss it.
Because I would guess that most of the guys on your team, the older guys, if they wanted to coach, they have enough experience that they could get jobs coaching. So they get up and they go on the court because they just love to play basketball. Yeah. It's the same thing with football.
And they still can play at a high level too. So if you still can play at a high level, I don't blame you. Go out there and play. If you can show the younger guys up, and you at 37 like Jamario, 36 or however how old he is, he's still playing at a high level. EJ played a high level overseas. He's still playing at a high level. And, they don't seem like they old, So it's just go out there and do what you need to do.
You're talking to an old guy right here. So, they don't seem like they're old to me either.
Wow.
Now, all right, so the Patroons, let's talk about this weekend for a couple of minutes. The Patroons are in first place in the NAPB, which is the North American Premier Basketball League. And they're in first place right now, as we're talking, with a record of 14 wins and 5 losses. And 2 of those losses came on your trip over to the western part of the United States, which you had a couple players that were hurt, including Smush. And you're playing the team from Yakima, Washington this weekend. And they're, at this point, are, I believe they're 13-5. Because they just beat Rochester twice in Rochester. Does that give you more excitement, knowing that you're playing the number 2 team, that they're after you?
Yeah, I think so. It's always exciting when you get to battle with the 2 best teams in the league. Obviously, they probably want to finish first just as bad as we want to finish first. So I'm excited that we got that trip out the way over there, and I'm looking forward to getting revenge back over here. So that's part of the game, and that's what we play for. To see who's the best, and this weekend will be a good test for us to kind of pull away from the pack a little bit more again. Being that we lost 3 out of the last 5 games that we played. We just want to try to get back on track, and it got to start here at home. We got a nice little home stretch here, and if we can knock all of these games out, I think it'll put us back in a position to finish off the season in first.
How about for you, DeAndre? Is it more exciting, or is it just another team?
To me, it's just another team, but it's exciting because they beat us.
You beat them once.
Yeah, we beat them once.
Right?
It's a split, but right now, like Ed said, it's time to take off. Playoffs coming. It's coming fast. It's time to take off and secure home court advantage. That's why we got these games at home. Once we take care of home court advantage, everything should speak for itself. It's going to be hard to beat us in Albany in the Armory. So the road, we ain't really worried about winning on the road. We won majority of our games on the road until we just lost this last 3 out of 5. But I think we lost 1 game at home.
Yeah.
To Ohio, I think.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to Ohio. They beat us more than anybody this year. I ain't looking past nobody, but we owe Ohio.
What's your greatest thrill ever playing basketball? What would you say your highlight is?
Winning trophies, winning championships. With good teammates and good friends. It's a brotherhood. You go through 6 months of being with somebody, not knowing them from a can of paint, and for real, you don't know nothing about them. But you got to go to practice with them. You're doing tour days with them. We stayed in the hotel with each other for almost 2 months.
I remember.
Eddie wasn't even there, but Ed ended up being my roommate. So great bond, great teammate, great guy. So that's what it's about: getting new friends and building the chemistry. Is like a brotherhood.
So you guys didn't know each other before this?
I heard of him through AAU and stuff like that. We got a couple of mutual friends, so I knew who he was. But once I really paid attention and I started seeing little stuff on the internet and stuff, I started seeing it. I'm like, I know who that is. That's that dude with the Sienna. He the one got game. So once you start figuring people out, seeing them around a lot, you really know who they is. And I'm glad he's my friend and my teammate now, so it's good.
So you guys actually live together in an apartment in this area, and is that tough? I mean, is that a difficult transition when you got families and you live with your families, you got kids and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you guys are together in an apartment, and there's a whole bunch of other guys around, in different apartments in that same complex. But you don't find that it's tough? I guess you have to adjust.
Not really. I mean, we've been doing the same exact thing since I was 14 years old, since AAU. We go AAU trips, we got to stay in hotels or dorms from a college, and we always got a roommate. Even today, if you go overseas, if I went overseas tomorrow, I would I probably won't. And overseas,
certain places.
Yeah, they do give you your own place over there in your own car. Yeah, they do, but I feel like I've done this forever. Just had roommates. I mean, I've had times where I've had no roommate, but I feel like I'm used to having a roommate at this point. Just playing basketball is just part of it. Even on the road, even if you don't have a roommate at home overseas, when you go on the road, you travel, you get in a hotel, you got roommates. They don't give you your own room on the road.
Right.
They give you your own apartment, but on the road they don't give you your own room. So we're already a little bit used to it, I feel like. So it's no.
And what would be your greatest thrill as a basketball player so far?
You mean like
Highlight.
like a moment
Yep.
in my career?
Yep.
I would have to take it back to Siena.
Really?
Yeah. Those are probably, some of the funnest times I've had in my life. To be able to win, 3 back-to-back championships. It's something hard to accomplish at any level. Whether it was the MAC, the ACC, Big East, just to win 3 back-to-back. It's tough at any level. And we actually almost lost the third one. We was down almost 18 at halftime in the third championship. So it's tough. That just showed the character that we had, the pride that we had, the love that we had for the game, the fight that we had in us, the togetherness, as a family that, at halftime in the locker room, how we stuck together to figure out a way to pull it out. And those are the moments you live for. And then, I still remember my freshman year when we lost. After we beat Marist. Remember Marist was the team to beat when they had Jared Jordan. And it was first that whole year, my rookie year. And we didn't beat them at all during the regular season. And then the playoff coming, we beat them in the semifinals. I still remember we celebrated like we won the championship. We had Niagara the next day. And then Niagara was one of the teams that beat us twice during the season, that we beat twice during the season. And then they end up beating us my rookie year in the championship. So basketball, as you can see, it can go, many different ways. But I still remember after that championship we lost, all of us in the locker room, I seen some guys crying, seniors, Michael Haddix and, some of the older seniors and all of them, Tay Fisher and all of them crying and stuff. And I could remember us saying, my class that came in, Ronald Moore, Alex Franklin and all of us, I remember us saying like, we ain't gonna lose no more. We ain't gonna lose it no more. We already had a taste of what it was like. And it was a bad feeling when we lost, and then we came back and won that next year. It was the greatest feeling in the world.
So your first time stepping in court in the NCAAs, that had to be a thrill.
Yeah.
Because isn't that a dream for every college player?
Yeah.
That's the biggest dream ever. That's what you want to do. You want to be one shining moment. That's what you want to be on that thing. Like, oh yeah, let's go. That's you want to be there. You want to be there. That's what you want to do.
It's kind of amazing.
I don't really care. It really don't matter if you lose. You made it there. There's a lot of people that went through college that didn't make it even to the conference tournament. Not even the first round. So it's big. It's big. Especially growing up in Chicago, and the tournament always at the United Center. The Big Ten tournament was always there for a couple years. So going there, you seeing Purdue, you seeing Illinois. Illinois was my school. They had Luther Head when I was a senior. Darren Williams, D. Brown, Roger Mason, senior, Roger Powell. So they had a lot of great players, and that's why I wanted to go. So when I saw them play North Carolina my senior year in the national championship, I was like, man, that's nice. Like all my friends, all the people I looked up to coming from Chicago, they right there in this game. Like, so I wanted to always go there and go to the NCAA tournament just off of that, because I really didn't know too much about colleges like that until like my junior year in high school when all of them started piling in on me. And so that was big. The NCAA tournament is big.
Yeah, and there's a possibility the NCAAs may be coming back to Albany the first round. That's why they just renovated the Times Union Center. They put about $40 million into renovating it, and what they had to do was make the press area bigger. And that's what the NCAA said. If you make the press area bigger, we're probably going to do it. The women's first round of the women's it's coming up here in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I see it on the billboard all the time.
And that should be women's basketball is taken off. It's bigger than it's ever been. And I think that it's great that Albany, this area, is getting something like the NCAA rounds here. So what do you hope for the Patroons? Obviously a championship. But, this is the inaugural year, the first year of the Patroons and the first year of the NAPB. Growing pains. I think everybody knows that there's been growing pains for both the Patroons as a team, not as far as play, but as far as getting crowds into the Armory, et cetera. And growing pains for the league. But there's a possibility that this league could be big if things go right. Now Dave Magley is the president,
the COO,
Chief Operating Officer of the North American Premier Basketball League. Now, DeAndre, you played under him in Canada, right?
Yeah, he was the commissioner. First, he was the coach. He coached the Brampton A's. Then they moved to Orangeville, Ontario, and he coached there for a long stint of time. So he was always one of the rivals. Good competitor, good coach, great guy. Then he ended up getting the commissioner job in Canada.
Did he coach as well?
Yes, he coached there too. But he ended up being commissioner the last 2 years I was there, and he did a great job. He did a hell of a job. Magley. Then once I found out about this league, I'm like, oh, he gonna do a good job over there. I started seeing the teams. I reached out to him like, if you need some players to come play, veteran players, I'll come over and play. And I got a couple teams that I can go to. So he was pushing for certain players to come over here so it can help him get the league started. Because you need some type of good players with good foundation, and so you can get fans into certain teams. So I was happy that he let me come play in his league. But he's a great guy.
And he was also he's a former Patroon too. He played for the Albany Patroons at one time. I believe he played with Derek Rowland on the team.
That's nice.
Yeah. What do you think about the league and the team and possibilities for the future?
I think the league I think this is a good league, especially just to have something, other than the G League, in the NBA, give other guys an opportunity to, stay home and, play basketball that don't get the opportunity to go overseas. There's a bunch of guys that's out there that, they would die to, go overseas and play basketball, and just give guys the opportunity to showcase their talent, to keep working on their game, and it's good competition. It maybe not have the the G League talent or the NBA talent, but I think it's very good competition. It's very competitive. As you can see, we got 3 teams battling for first place right now, so you can see the competitiveness in it. But so I hope this league, find a way to stay around. I've had fun so far. I'm happy that I'm here with the Albany Patroons. I get to be in front of a home crowd. It feels like a home crowd for me, and I'm just happy to be a part of this comeback. And I hope to see it around for a long time, and maybe even play again, maybe another year here. So you never know.
Yeah, same.
I want to ask you. I'm going to give you a scenario. I want to ask you both to respond to it. Young guy, young kid. 14, 15 years old, lives in the hood. A lot of problems around the house, a lot of problems outside. But he found this thing that is called basketball, and he loves to go out and play ball. Becomes pretty good at it. Has distractions all around him, but he really gets up in the morning wanting to play basketball. What would you say to that kid? How can he become a great player?
Keep those distractions on the outside, like you said, because they're around. Keep them on the outside. Stay focused. Find somebody that you're interested in, a person. Go talk to them. Get them like somebody like us. We here. Try to come to a game. Try to reach out to us, and try to ask for help to get out those situations that you're in. It's all about the youth. So. Stuff like that, try to get to a gym. You can stay in the gym. Try to find you a YMCA, a Boys and Girls Club. Try to stay there. First, you got to go to school because basketball ain't gonna be there like Ed said. So if you're doing stuff like that, just try to stay away from all the negative stuff. Try to have a lot of positive people around you and somebody that's doing the same thing that you're doing, and you'll be okay.
Yeah. Eddie,
I think you just dropped us pretty much. I haven't known Dre for a long time, but sometimes you can tell, when you meet somebody and you've been around them for a long time, the kind of background they may grew up in, I think I'm not sure about Dre, but I think we both came from pretty tough situations. I know I have. With my mom passing away at the age of 12 years old. My dad never been around since I was a baby, so I had to actually live that same stuff, distractions in the house, having to move in with my aunt, move to a new place, get familiar with new cities, new people, new things. So there was all type of distractions, that I've had growing up. So if I had something to tell him, I would probably tell him my story. I think my story will be a great example for kids. I've told it to some kids before, but I came a long way. With my background and my history, I came a long way. I went from not even knowing if I was going to play basketball. I didn't know until late in my career, but I found a way to find something that I really love to do, and once I realized that I was good at it and that I can do something with it, I stuck with it, and I just try to block as much, even though distractions is still built up inside you. I just try to find a way to block it out. When I'm on a court, it's kind of like a relief to me. You kind of get to be happy, be yourself, and not worry about all the other distractions in that moment. So if I had to speak to him in terms of, I would, tell him my story, and I would, tell him to try to, do better, even better than I did. I'm a pretty talented kid, and I'm not just saying that, because of what things that I've done. I'm saying that because I feel like I know the game. I feel like I have an eye for talent, and I can look at someone and see what they can do on the court, instantly, and what they're good at, what they're not good at. So when I evaluate myself, I evaluate myself with, honesty. And I feel like, I have a very special talent, a very unique talent, where I'm very versatile and can do many things on the court. And I felt like if I had started a little early and I had, someone to push me to strive to be better every single day, that, things could be different. Maybe I won't be here with the Patroons, maybe I'll be in the NBA or whatever. But that's the little things kids gotta, figure out at a young age, how to, find something that they really love to do and work at it every single day. Because if you don't, the sky's the limit. Anybody can come and just, take your spot. You fall off your game, you're not on top of your game. As you can see, these guys in the NBA, I've been there, up there. They work every single day. That's one thing that I've learned, for the time that I had. That is about working on your game and having confidence. And if basketball is something that makes the kid happy, then use that as an advantage to get away from all the distractions, and help you, put the distractions away.
Well, I know you guys are both very talented basketball players, but even more than that, you're talented at expressing yourself. And part of the talent is I know one of the things about the NAPB is that, they require you guys to go into the community and talk to kids.
You should do that regardless. As a what word I'm looking for? Role model.
Yeah.
You should want to do that anyway. It's big. I'm from Chicago, and I lost a lot of friends to gun violence and stuff like that. So it's big because kids see that and they venture the other way because they see all their friends and some of the older guys. They out on the block, they chilling, they making a little money doing what they doing. But these people not telling them this not the right way to do it. This the easy way. In reality, that's the easy way. Standing outside, not doing nothing. The hard way is going to work out, going to practice, going to school, studying. That's hard. You should want to do the hard stuff, not the easy stuff. Don't take the easy way out. And that's what I try to tell the youth in Chicago. Because life is short. If you don't try to get everything you can get out of life right then and there, it's going to be too hard when you get 30, 25, 26 years old to try to go do it then, to try to do it at that age. So you should try to do it early so you can reach back out, so you can reach the other youth. So that's all it's about, reaching your hand back to helping the next person.
Well, I know we ran over, but I think that, we ran over with a very, very important message. And that message has to get out. And I want to thank my two guests today, DeAndre Thomas,
Thank you, Tom.
Edwin Ubiles,
Thank you.
from the Albany Patroons. All games are played at the Washington Avenue Armory in Albany, like they were back in 1982. Come and see them, and we'll see you the next time on Spotlight on Sports.